Let's turn now to Remi Piet, Senior Partner at Embellie Advisory. Remi, good to see you again. What do you think China is hoping to get out of the UNGA this year?
Well, it's actually a great opportunity for China to push forward a series of key initiatives on the international agenda. Yes, indeed, there's been a lukewarm relation between China and the United Nations. On the one hand, there's a permanent seat at the UN Security Council, but also there's a series of criticism on human rights or international security from some of the members. But at the same time, this United Nations General Assembly is really the opportunity to push initiatives such as the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiatives from the Boao Forum, and try to build stronger coalitions with the Global South towards being able to offset the kind of Western-led dominance of international agenda and be able to push forward for larger, more inclusive development initiatives that would actually also, work into the best interest of the Chinese economy. It's very important for China to have cohesion on issues of international trade, to clarify security of supplies, and to make sure that they have strong alliances, as I was mentioning, through the Global Development Initiatives or the Global Security Initiatives by funding some key projects that would actually be in line with some key components such as climate change mitigation and be able to, form some alliances towards clarities of international trade.
And tell us more about how China contributes across different UN agencies. We know that among the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council, China sends the most UN peacekeepers. Why is that?
Well, there's a strong, opportunity for China to show its capacity for leadership through the United Nations. In it through peacekeepers, but also through different initiatives of inclusive development, of climate change mitigation, of security. For China, the United Nations is a very interesting arena to be able to build those alliances and showcase the capacity for leadership, for being able to build a future where different countries will find its own place without being kind of mixed into a more general vision of international globalization that will not understand the interests of different countries. In that case, really the presence of China in the speech at the United Nations General Assembly is a clear opportunity to build on those initiatives of clearer economic development and more secure alliances between countries.
Now, China is a founding member of the UN, but the PRC only assumed the seat in 1971. Talk to us a little bit about the history and China's presence at the UN.
So, you very rightly mentioned the history of China's presence on the United Nations. The fact that that China has this permanent seat at the Security Council has allowed it to have a very strong voice on issues of global security and global development. Now it's actually the time for China to show leadership of, around this GDI or Global Security Initiative to garner, a series of international alliances with countries such as Brazil, Saudi Arabia, or India, for example, and try to find some cohesion and work towards, a better, more secure globalization system that will be in the best interest of the Chinese people and Chinese economy.
What do you know about Beijing's decision to send Han Jiang? Do you think that this will impact plans for Chinese President Xi Jinping's expected attendance at APEC in November? Do you think that there is a chance that he might not come at all, given this last-minute change?
Well, it's a very good question, and that's where everyone's trying to understand exactly the move here in terms of diplomatic presence here. There's been concerned about the potential U.S.-Chinese relationship and the absence of a high-level leader of China at the UNGA. It has been kind of mitigated by announces that there will be a summit between the U.S. and China before the end of the year, or at least with key, high-level executives of China. But it's very important that China is able to move forward towards this idea of positive leadership, of ideas of new type industrialization aligning with the international climate agenda with a very high-level, voice. And hopefully there be a stronger presence at the United Nations General Assembly and to further, meetings after that event.
All right, Remi Piet, Senior Partner at Embellie Advisory. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sally.